Hey guys, it's Landon with RH, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can create a custom theme for Typora, which is a markdown editor, using a deep learning tool like Google Gemini. Just kind of a fun little thing. I learned how to do this last weekend, and it's a cool application of deep learning tools, and so I thought I would just show you guys how to do it. So I've got Gemini pulled up here. I've got a little folder set up for my theme. I'm going to use Fredoka for my main font, my title font, my body font, and JetBrains Mono for my source code font. And I've got a color scheme I created here. So let me open that up. And I'll open up this image. So here's the color scheme. I made it on this website called Coolers. And it came from this image that I took. So I took this, I don't know, this image is probably 10 years old, but it's of a wildflower called Indian paintbrush that we get here in Central California up in the Sierra Nevada. So I made a color scheme from that image. And so we're going to see if we can use that to create our Typora theme. So I've got Gemini open here, and I'm going to go ahead and just drag it, the PDF with the color scheme. I'm going to say, hi Gemini, I've attached a color scheme I generated from an image. I've also attached the image. We'll give it the image too. I don't know that it'll use it, but we'll give it the image. Oh, it won't. It doesn't like that image type. That's weird. Let's see what happens here if we try and get it through the file browser. Yeah, it may not take this image. Yep, it doesn't. Okay. So we're gonna tell it I'd like to get a Typora theme based on this color scheme. The theme should, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna cut this and we're gonna put it into a text editor so I can get some line breaks. Okay, so we're going to say the theme should, let's see, include the following, and then I'm going to give it a bulleted list. So we're going to say Fredoka, the Fredoka Google font for title text and body text. The JetBrains Mono font for source code. And then we're going to say I'd like titles and headings to have a 4-pixel black top border and 4-pixel bottom black bottom border. I'm going to say I'd like titles, and we're going to say I'd like, so we're going to be a little more specific. I'm going to say I'd like level 1 headings and let's just say level 1 headings. I'd also like those headings to have a background color from the color scheme. Okay, so we're telling it how to set up the level 1 headings, and then we're going to say I'd like level 2 headings to just have a 4-pixel bottom. We're going to say 2-pixel black bottom border. The text to say the text for all headings should use a color from the color scheme. Level 1 heading color should be different from the other heading colors. And we're going to say the links should also use a color from the color scheme. And then we're going to say the solid bullets and numbers in numbered lists should also use a color from the color scheme. Okay, so we've given it some directions here, and this is based a little bit just on my knowledge of HTML and what needs to go in a CSS file. But you could certainly ask Gemini to explain to you what needs to go in, but I've given you an example there. So we're going to drop this in the prompt and send it. And it's going to spit us back a CSS file. Oh, failed. Ha ha ha. All right, that surprises me. Okay, so not impressed, epic failure there. I did this the other day and it worked fine. So epic failure. Let's try Grok. So Google gets an F. I just did this the other day and it worked fine. But let's try Grok. I've been experimenting with Grok. Okay. And I have a Super Grok subscription. All right, so let's see if it'll let us take this PDF. I gotta remember where I put that now. Desktop temp. Okay, and we better say hi Grok, so it doesn't get mad at us. Hi Grok. Okay, let's see if Grok will do it. So Grok is thinking. Let me pause this while Grok thinks. Okay, so it's done thinking. It extracted some color codes there, and now it's going to build me the CSS file that we need for the theme, and then it's going to tell me how to use it. Okay, so let's just try this out now. So we're going to open up Typora, and we're going to go to File, Preferences, Appearance, and we're going to tell it to open the theme folder. Okay, so here's the theme folder, and I'm going to create a new text document, and we're going to call it I'm going to call it Wildflower Paintbrush. And then we're going to give it a CSS extension. Okay, we're going to open that up with Sublime. Again, that's the text editor I'm using. So we'll open that up always. Okay, and we'll paste our CSS file in there and we'll save it. Okay, now we have to restart Typora so we'll see the theme. And we should see Wildflower Paintbrush now as an option. So it's in here. So let's go ahead and open a so here's a markdown file that I have it's got some Python code in it. So let's see how this looks now. We can come down here. All right, so there is our theme. Now, one thing that doesn't look right to me is it doesn't. Okay, so there it goes. I made that a heading 1, and I got the bars. Now you notice that it did not somehow the text is not showing up there the way I want, and we don't have a nice box set aside for our code. So what that means is, we're gonna want to tweak this a little bit. So let's go ahead and tweak this a little bit. So we're gonna go back to Grok, and we're gonna say, can you make the heading 1 text white and size 30 points? Can you also make the code, the source code, appear in a box with a white background and 2 pixel thin gray border? I'm going to say gray top border and bottom border. Also add, let's say, 30 pixels of padding around the code boxes. So we can tweak this a little bit. So it's going to think about what I said, and it'll go make us some changes. I'll give it a minute here. Okay, while it's doing that, I'm going to open up Sublime again. So we're gonna repaste this. Okay, so it made the changes for me. So let's see how that looks. So we'll save this, paste it into Sublime, and save it. And let's open Typora, and we'll reopen that file. Let's see here. Okay, so now I've got my font is showing up, and we can go down and look at the code now. It's got padding. It doesn't look to me like it's got the white background on the code box, and it looks like I need a little bit of a I need some padding on the title. And I actually want a margin and not padding on that. Now, if you know a little bit about CSS, what you can do is you can actually edit. Your CSS. So here's my font, my background, my border, my padding. I'm not sure what it's got that 0 on there for. Let's try just 8 pixels. I think that'll pad the left side a little bit, which is what we want. And then I don't actually know how to do the code. Where is it styling the code? Okay, here's the code. So right now I've got padding. And what I want to do is, it's up here. That's for inline code. This is the regular coding. I'm going to go ahead and give it a margin also of 30 pixels. So you could do this in Grok, but once you have the main CSS theme, and it is applying the background color, so that might be a Typora bug. So let's save that and reopen it and see how it looks. So we can look at the changes. Okay, so now I've got a little bit of padding on the title font, which is what I wanted. And it doesn't look like it's applying the margin to the code boxes. And I'm only getting the bottom and top border on the code boxes. Let me pause this and see if I can go, well, you guys might want to see how to fix it. So let's go see what we can do here. So on my code box, see it's got border bottom and border top, which is not what I want. So I want it all the way around. And I don't know why it's not applying the margin. That's a little bit weird. And I'm going to give it a kind of a gray background. Let's pop open our color scheme. Let's see if there's a color in here that would work for the background. Probably not. So we need just like a gray color. So let's pull up the Adobe color wheel. And we'll get us a light gray color that we can use. All right, so what I need is this, that C8, C8, C8. That's called a hex code. That's what I need. Oop. So let's come over here and we'll give it that gray. And we'll save that. The only thing I can't figure out is why it's not applying the margin there. Okay, so let's reload this. I don't think this document might not have a bulleted list either. We'll have to look at that. Okay, so now I'm getting that gray on my code. It still doesn't look like it's offsetting the code boxes like I wanted, and I feel like I've lost my my borders. Let's see. I don't know if we got a bulleted list in here. Let's see what a bulleted list looks like. Bulleted list test. Alright, so we can say first item. Alright, so we got some issues with the bulleted list there that we need to fix. And I feel like that gray might be a little bit dark. So let's tweak this a little more. I might actually come back to Grok for this. So I'm going to say, can we give the code boxes a very light background? I'd like them indented 30 pixels from the left and right side of the page. I'd also like the bullets to be solid circles with a radius of 5 pixels. I don't know if it'll do that, but we'll try it. The text for each bullet item should be on the same line as the bullet. Can you help with this? Alright, let's see what it tells us. Alright, so it's making some changes here. So let's open up Sublime and we'll make those changes. Okay, so it's changing me telling me the changes it made. It changed the background color. It adjusted some margins here. It modified the CSS bullet style. It centered the text on the bullet. It added some padding to the left of the bulleted list. All right, so let's see how that looks. I already saved it to the CSS file. So let's open Typora and we'll open up our content. Okay, now I lost my padding. I got to do that. Okay, this code box looks a lot better now. I like that look. That looks great. Let's go down and check our bulleted list. See if it fixed that. All right, so now I've got my bullets are working. Let's try a numbered list. Numbered list look good. That bullet's probably a little big. So just to wrap this up, let's open up Sublime one more time. And we'll say, that's great. Can we put, let's say 10 pixels of left padding on our level 1 headings. And we also make the bullets 3 pixels instead of 5. Okay, so it's going to regenerate that file. And it's going to explain its changes. So Grok gets an A here, Google Gemini gets an F. So let's paste these in. We'll paste these changes in, and then I got one more thing I want to show you guys. So we'll save it, and we'll open Typora back up. And if you're going to do very much of this, obviously it would be good to get a okay. We got our. That's great. We got our padding there. It would be good to get a sample markdown file that lets you look at all the stuff you need. But let's go ahead and add a bullet list again. I should save this change, right? All right, that bullet is a little better, right? So I'm pretty happy with this. Let's go ahead and save it. If you wanted, you could do things like add rounded corners and do some other stuff. But I like this theme. So I'm going to show you one other thing here. We're going to go back to Grok and we're going to say, that looks great. Are there other suggestions you have for how to improve the theme? Let's just see what it tells us. So it's saying use a subtle background color. So it gave me a whole list of improvements there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say save as, and we're going to call this Wildflower Paintbrush Extra. And we're going to try and paste in what Grok gave us here. So we'll copy this CSS. So it did some different things here, which I think will probably be great additions. So we'll paste that in. Let's go see how it looks in Typora. All right, looks good. So that looks good. I can't remember how to do a block quote in Markdown. Let's look real quick. Markdown block quote. Start a line with a greater than symbol. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Alright, I don't know that worked. Greater than? Yeah, I don't know. Something's going on there. Let's see. What am I missing here? Yeah. So, I don't know what's going on there. Doesn't look like the block quotes are working. Let's try a different theme real quick. Yeah, so the block quotes work on that. Oh, I didn't have the extra style applied. Okay, so there you go. It's got that background color. The block quotes work now. It put a shadow on the inline code statements. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like this. I don't know if I like the background color. I don't know that I like the background color or the underlines in the row boxes, but the rest of that I like. So you can see here we're getting pretty close. I'm going to make a couple more changes, and then we're going to ask it to make us a dark version. So I'm going to say, that looks good. Can you style, let's see, can you indent the block quotes like you do the code boxes? Remove the background color from the page and remove the underlines in the code box text. Please also add a right border to the block quote that looks like the left border. All right, so we'll let it do that, and then we'll have it give us a dark theme. So it's making those changes for us now. Now the nice thing about I have these fonts installed, but the nice thing about using the Google Web Fonts is I think it will display, you don't have to embed those fonts in your theme, I don't think. So let's see how this looks. If we like this, then we'll have it make us a dark version. All right, let's restart Typora, and we'll take a see how this looks. And it's still got the underline in the code boxes. Let's see if it fixed the block. It fixed the block quote, so that looks good. This has got a nested block quote. That's what it should really look like. Alright, so let's make a couple more changes to this. I'll say that's great. Can we make the block quote text a thick size 18-point font? Can we also remove the bottom border / underline on the rows of text in the code boxes? Okay, so let's get ready for that. And then if this looks good, we'll get us a dark theme. So let's run in our changes here. Super easy. I mean, you can see here in 30 minutes, I'm going to have basically a custom Typora theme. You can easily do this for your company, to match your company branding. So I've already done that for Redefined Horizons. So let's save it. And let's reload Typora, restart Typora. All right, it's still got those underlines in the code boxes. but this looks the block quote text is thicker now, so it looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go look at the code box. So we got font family, border color, border top, padding, margin, display block, box shadow. I don't think I want the box shadow. See, it got rid of my bottom border, which I don't want. So let's put that back. I just don't know where it's creating that. I don't know where it's creating that line under my source code font. That's interesting. Okay, we're going to save this. And we're going to say, here is an updated file with a couple minor edits. Can you use the color scheme to make a dark version of this theme? Okay, so we're going to go give it. Let's give it the let's see here. Give me a second here. I gotta go open up that. I gotta open up that theme folder again. Okay, so we're going to give it that theme with the tweaks we made, hopefully. And we're going to say, give us a dark version. So let's get ready for that. So we're going to save this as dark, wildflower paintbrush dark. And we'll see what it comes up with for a dark theme. So all it should really need to do is switch around the colors. So it's going to generate that for us. You can tell the time change just happened because I'm tired. Alright. I think it's done. Let's go ahead and copy this. We'll see what kind of dark version of the theme it came up with. So we'll reload Typora. And we'll switch to the dark theme. So there you go. Now, for whatever reason, I lost my title font. So, you know, I didn't do a perfect job of this. The heading text is too dark. And the code boxes are too dark. So, you know, we can ask it to fix that for us. So let's do that real quick and then I'll end the video. So we'll say, can you use a light green color for the level 2 and lower headings, level 2 and higher headings? Can you make the level 1 heading color white? Can you make the code box background, I'm not sure if like black, if black is going to do it. Oh, you know what? We just make the font white. Code box, the code font color, a very light gray. Okay, let's have it make those changes for us. And then we'll see how that looks. Okay, so here's the new dark theme. We can see the title font again, and you know what? It doesn't look like it changed the font in the code box, but I bet we can do that. So let's go find that. Code border, code text, so here it is. So if we want that to be, let's go C8, 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 that's a light gray. Let's try that. That's the only other thing I really want to change there. Okay, oh, so that's for the inline. For some reason, the code in the actual code boxes, the text in the actual code boxes didn't change. Code text. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not working. So that's, yep, I'm not sure, that might be a bug or something else is going on there. It'd be nice if that text was white. So we'll have to figure that out. It's got that light green text though. So that's the only thing I really want to fix is I'd like to fix that part of the code box. Let's go down and look at our bullet list. So it's got our block quote, our bullet list. Okay, so this looks pretty good to me. So what we can do now is we can just tell Grok, can you write me a 800-word description of this theme for Typora. So we'll get a little bit of documentation here. Okay, and I can see what it's doing wrong here. So I would say, can you write me a, let's say, 1,200-word description of both the light and dark Typora themes we've created in this chat session. So it's going to create me some documentation here. Alright guys, so I was able to get this dark theme fixed now. It's got the white text, which is what we wanted. So that's cool, except I lost all the syntax highlighting, which sucks, so I'll have to get that fixed. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I also just had Grok create me some quick documentation for our theme. So here's a theme description. We can view that in the light theme too, which I like a little better. So there you go. Now you know how to, that was 40 minutes. That took a lot longer than I thought, but gives you an idea of how you can create your own Typora themes using a tool like Grok, because Google Gemini completely choked. So you can take any image in your favorite Google web fonts and you can create a markdown theme for Typora, which is cool. So I hope this video helped somebody that wants to geek out on that, and thanks for watching.